let's bring you this discussion now. A motion of no confidence in Ekurhuleni Mayor Tania Campbell has been scheduled for the 30th of March. That's next week. Now, Campbell is likely to be removed after the DA Speaker was removed through a deal that was struck between the ANC and the EFF. The new mayor of Ekurhuleni is likely to come from a smaller party, though, and the question is whether the same instability we are seeing in Tshwane is heading for Ekurhuleni. Well, to discuss that with me is Govan Whittles, who is in studio. Govan, good morning. So 2 questions from me. Let's start with the first one. Is this a substantive motion? We know about motions of no confidence that have failed and some of them overturned by the court. So the motion of no confidence that Tania Campbell is facing, what are the issues?
Well, again, it ranges from service delivery issues to the ability of the Ekurhuleni Mayoral Committee to execute on the IDP, which is essentially the Industrial Development Plan. It's a plan which requires consultation with a number of communities in Ekurhuleni. It's one that's been severely criticized by opposition parties, in this case the ANC, the EFF, and what we've called so many times the Super 7, which is essentially minority parties. And again, this time, what's interesting is that they couldn't bring this motion before because Tania Campbell had already survived the motion of no confidence. And according to the Municipal Structures Act, you can't perpetually bring motions of no confidence. You need to wait for a certain time period to lapse. That time has now lapsed. And, well, it's safe to say they've brought it immediately when they were able to do so. So this is clearly something that they've been waiting to bring to the Ekurhuleni Council. It is substantive because it's procedural. It follows all the necessary rules. It's likely to be upheld because it was approved by the programming committee in the Ekurhuleni Council, and it has crucial issues, but for all intents and purposes, this is a political motion being brought because the political climate is right in Ekurhuleni, and the parties are ready to capitalize.
Yeah. We've already made reference to the Speaker who lost out, and it is assumed now that the mayor is on her way out. So the question is, from which smaller party is the mayor going to come from, and why is the emphasis from a smaller party that this mayor will come from?
That's the deal that was struck between the ANC and the EFF. Look, Oli, what we saw in Johannesburg has indeed ended up being the game plan of this ANC-EFF collaboration. It's not a formal agreement. Remember that the ANC's NEC is due to receive a document on its strategy for negotiations with the EFF. That will happen in the middle of this month. It's, towards the middle of next month now. And this is happening while the beef between Fikile Mbalula and Julius Malema is getting hotter. And so Fikile Mbalula will essentially have to present that strategy of how they'll work with the EFF in the metro municipalities to the NEC. They'll have to adopt it and then move forward on it while they clearly don't see eye to eye. It's a case of the leaders disagreeing while the councillors on the ground are forced to work out some sort of deal. Now, the question is, who will it be? Look, there are a number of strong personalities in the Ekurhuleni Council. Just look at Jongizizwe Dlabati from the ANC. He's the ANC's chief whip there. He's taken a lead at trying to unseat this DA-led coalition. But this time, he'll have to take a back seat because of the precedent that's been set. So likely it'll come from the NFP. Frontrunner is Sipumule Ntombela. He's the minority councillor that's been sort of the mouthpiece of this ANC-aligned Super 7.
Right.
But of course, we don't want to say before time. We could get it wrong. So we'll see what happens once that rolls by.
Govan Whittles, thank you very much for filling us in there. All right.